Hey everyone! Okay, so today we're working on this really beautiful, rich burgundy look, and I think it looks like cinnamon and all those good things, and oh, it's so lovely. I love it. So the first thing I am doing is moisturizing my face with my Pond's Luminous Moisture, as always, and then I'm going to use my Maybelline Age Rewind concealer and just use that as a primer all over my lids. So I'm going to work it in with my fingers. And then I'm just taking my face powder and running it across my brow bone so that everything blends nice and smooth. And then I'm taking MAC's Charcoal Brown first on a fluffy brush and working this into my crease. This is going to kind of neutralize the crease because we're working with a lot of warm colors, so we don't want it to look too warm, too red. So this Charcoal Brown, which is a really nice medium tone gray-ish brown, is going to help with that neutralizing. And now we're going to use Makeup Geek's Frappe and Cocoa Bear on the same fluffy brush, and get those down onto the on top of the charcoal brown in the crease. Switching the brushes, this one is a Morphe B38, and I'm using Cocoa Bear, and now I'm concentrating it in my crease. I'm going to come back to my crease, so I'm not worried about building up too much color there just yet, but I'm getting some down. You know, we work in stages and we go back and forth and we repeat ourselves constantly. So this is Fix Plus, and I'm just spritzing it onto my flat shader brush, and now I'm going in with the color Bitten from Makeup Geek. This is such a beautiful, rich, matte burgundy color, as you can see. So I'm going to pack it all over my eyelid, taking it almost up to the crease, not all the way. Pack it on, make sure that it's nice and rich, and now we look really crazy. Really, really strange. Taking that same Morphe brush again, I'm going to just soften the edges up a little bit. There is always a stage where your eyeshadow looks really weird. It's going to look, you know, when you're doing a smoky eye, it's going to look odd, it's going to look ugly, and this is the point that most people give up. There's always an ugly, crazy phase, whether it be just messy or it just doesn't look blended, but if you keep at it, keep going back and forth, I'm adding a little bit of Frappe here, it's going to work. Now I'm taking the color Antiqued and Red Alert from MAC Cosmetics on the same wet flat shader brush, and I'm taking Antiqued, which is just a really beautiful shimmery coppery color, in through the first half of my eyelid. And then I'm going to take Red Alert across the center of the face, center of the eyelid. What am I talking about? Oh my god. Red Alert is just a little bit brighter. Again, it's shimmery, but it's going to just help to add some dimension because this is pretty flat without it. So we're just going to add a little bit of dimension. You know, you want to see a tiny little bit of shimmer when, you know, when you move your eyelids, when you blink. And I'm sorry if my light keeps going on funny. It was natural light and it was just weird. So just never mind. I'm getting it sorted out. Now I'm going to use the Maybelline Baby Skin and just get that all over my T-zone and work it in with my fingers. You don't want to rub in your primer too much, but you also don't want to just leave it sitting on the face. So rub it over until you feel nice and smooth, and then stop. And I'm going in with my foundation. This is the Maybelline FitMe Matte and Poreless, and I am in the shade number 322, using my wet or damp beauty blender to press this in. Now my beauty blender was damp already, and I squeezed out most of the water, and then I always spritz it with a little bit of Fix Plus. I love Fix Plus for this. Going in with my concealer, which is of course again the Maybelline Age Rewind in the color medium. And I'm going to hit underneath my eyes. As you can see, I'm really puffy under there. I don't know what's going on. My allergies have been acting up and I'm super puffy and it's weird looking. So I'm going around the nose to kill redness, you know, above my lip, my chin, center of my forehead. But then I really wanted to go uber highlighted because this is a strong look. So the face needs to have structure. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in, I think it's number 10. It's the fair one. And I'm just adding that to my spots, and then I'm going to blend it in with my beauty blender. And the reason I love the beauty blender is because it blends seamlessly and flawlessly, and it also absorbs a little bit of excess product, so you don't end up with cake face. No matter how much you put on, I mean, I'm sure there's a limit, but no matter how much you put on, it always goes nice and smooth. Now I'm using my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the color Dim Light just to set under my eyes and across the tops of my cheekbones. And then I'm taking Dim Light and Radiant Light mixed together just across the tops of my, across my brow bone. Now I'm going in with Frappe and Cocoa Bear mixed on this Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to blow out underneath my eyes a little bit. And then I'm going to take the same Bitten again on the wet brush again I'm also going to poke myself in the eye, clearly, and I'm going to run that closer to my lashes. Next up, I'm going to contour my face. I know, I'm bouncing all over the place here, guys. This is just, it's one of those things. So I'm using my Maybelline FitMe Shine Control Stick, I believe it's called. And I'm just using that to carve out where I want to create some shadows. Just along my jaw, especially, and under my cheekbones. And on my chin. I have a long face, so I want to minimize my chin. And then I'm just going to use my damp beauty blender again to blend all that in. And the beauty blender just does such a marvelous job of this. Then I'm going to set my face with my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in the color 330. Setting kind of all over with my Bay Grill Techniques fluffy brush. I'm just kind of patting it onto my skin and then rubbing. If you rub first, you're going to disturb all your products. So you want to pat it first and then set it. I'm not using much of this though. I filled in my eyebrows off camera, and now I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Infallible pencil in Carbon Black, and I'm just going to tight line, scrub it into my lashes really, really well. I'm also going to line my waterline, do the same thing. And now I like using this pencil for this as opposed to a gel eyeliner, because gel eyeliner sets up very quickly, so you can't work, you can work with it, but it can get messy, whereas this sets a little bit slower, but it still does set. So when we go in a minute to blend it out, it's going to blend easier. So I'm also taking this along my lash line and scrubbing it into my eyelashes to fill up any gaps, but I don't really want a liner. And then I'm using the Real Techniques accent brush to just blend that out with a little bit of Makeup Geek's Corrupt on it. And then I'm going to go back and forth between a little bit of Bitten and a little bit of Corrupt and just keep going until it's nice and smoky. Now I'm taking Antique just through the inner third of my waterline, making sure everything's blended out really nice and smooth, but still blown out. Dance break! I put on my lashes off camera, and they are the Ardell 110s, which are very, very light and natural. And so I don't usually do this, but I am going to put some mascara through my eyelashes, through the falsies as well as my own eyelashes. And it's just going to thicken them up a little bit, make them a little bit darker, but it's, you know, we don't want the lashes to distract from the actual look. Then I'm going in with my Maybelline Master Highlight in the color Light Bronze, and I'm using that as a blush. Just a light wash of color across the cheeks, and it's also going to give us a little bit of a glow. Don't worry, we're going back in with highlighter because, as you do. This is MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish in the color Global Glow, and we know I have been loving this for like the last 6 months. I have just been obsessed with this color. Look at it. Oh. And it's really finely milled, so it's still really, really pretty on the skin. You don't see it sitting on the skin. It's not chunky, but it's the perfect color. So I'm taking it across my cheekbones, down the center of my nose. I'm also going to use my finger to pack it onto my Cupid's bow because I want the Cupid's bow and the tip of my nose to be really nicely highlighted. I'm going to take MAC's Rice Paper eyeshadow on my tiny little Morphe brush and just highlight the inner corners of my eyes as well as underneath my eyebrows along my brow bone. This is a really beautiful color, and you can build it up to the intensity that you want because it's quite sheer. I love it. It's a pale, pale gold color. Then I'm going to go in with my Milani Baked Bronzer in the color Soleil, and I'm just going to warm my face up a little bit. I'm not actually trying to contour with this. I don't even want to add too much cheek color. I just want to add a little bit of glow to the tops of my face. This might look a little strange if you're living in winter, but I live in the tropics, and so I need to look like I've had sun because it just looks weird if I don't. Now I'm going to go in with my NYX Retractable Waterproof Lip Liner in the color Sand Beige. And I'm just going to line my lips and fill them in. And then I'm going to take Maybelline Vivid Matte Lipstick in the color Touch of Spice, which is a beautiful pinky, mauvey, brown kind of color. Oh, it's beautiful. So beautiful. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. I had a lot of fun creating it for you. Please tag me in it if you recreate this look. And so until my next video, thank you so much for watching and happy holidays. Bye.